So today we're going to talk about tariffs. I'm sure many of you have heard about the new tariffs that have been put into place. If you haven't heard about them, you might be living under a rock. So I'll assume that everyone has heard of the new tariffs. The new construction in Florida is going to be affected by these new tariffs because they're going to increase the prices of essential building products such as cement, steel and aluminum, lumber. All of those things are going to have higher prices. So due to that, new construction is going to have higher prices and builders are going to have to increase those prices. One of the things we're seeing is that the new construction builders are actually slowing down new construction projects. They're taking a little more time. Pricing is a little more abstract because they don't know exactly where the tariffs are going to land. They have to factor in those prices before they can price to consumers. So therefore, we're anticipating it to continue to slow down with new construction. So this could drive prices for resale properties that are already built homes up, and also could create a higher demand for those properties. So that's something that you want to think about going forward, and just factor that into your timing on when you want to purchase your next home. Another thing that the tariffs are doing is they are increasing buyer hesitancy. The experts are estimating about 30% of buyers are sitting on the sidelines waiting to see what's going to happen due to all the economic uncertainty. We don't know exactly where we're going to land with all these tariffs and with all the things that are going on with the stock market and everything else. So that is going to have an effect on Florida real estate. And hopefully we can get to a place where the market is stabilized, but when that is going to happen is everybody's guess. So you're going to have less new construction, you're going to have higher prices on resale properties, but you're also potentially have less buyers in the pool to buy because they're sitting on the sidelines. So what does that mean for you? What that means is there may be a lot of opportunity. When there's markets like this where people are sitting on the sidelines, that's less competition. So if you're smart, you can really figure out where you want to be, what neighborhood you want to be in, and you might be able to find a property that you wouldn't be able to find in a normal stabilized market, maybe even for a better price. So I wouldn't suggest sitting on the sidelines. I would suggest going out and looking for properties if you're in the market to buy. Don't wait for everything to get cleared up and stabilized, because when you wait for that, then you're going to have all the other buyers coming off the sidelines, and then you're going to have a lot more competition. Now, there still are imports of construction materials that are made in the US, so those won't be as effective. Obviously the house has a lot of elements, lumber, steel. You also have tile, you have plumbing, HVAC, drywall, cement. So there's all different types of things that go into building a home. So those US prices should not increase due to the tariffs. However, because a lot of the construction material is imported, it might put a strain on the supply chain. And because it puts a strain on the supply chain, then supply and demand. So that might also drive prices up. Now, are housing prices going to double? We don't think so. We're thinking the average price of maybe $400,000 home is expected to go up about $10,000. So we're not talking about exorbitant figures at this time. However, we do know that things are changing on a daily basis, so we'll have to keep reevaluating that. But at the time of this video, prices are expected to increase, but not as much as some people have been talking about. So now I want to talk about interest rates. A lot of people are discussing whether interest rates are going to go up, are they going to come down, are they going to stay the same, and there's all these talks about interest rates going down. I do not believe, and the experts do not think, that the interest rates are going to go down by any substantial amount in the foreseeable future. So the days of 3% and 4% interest rates are gone. We're in the 6 to 7% range now. However, you really want to look at your buying power, because it isn't just based on real estate, it's based on pricing. If you have prices that have deflated in Florida, for example, you have more buying power. You can negotiate a better deal. There's inventory out there. So you really have to kind of do the math. Don't just be focused on interest rates. What I would say is find your right house, marry the house, date the rate. You can always refinance later if they go down. But what if interest rates go the other way and go up? Right now, everybody is saying status quo. That's what the experts say. There are a lot of political influences and people talking in that regard. But it just doesn't make economic sense for the interest rates to go down that much from where they are now. So you have to kind of look at the whole picture. And this is why you need a real estate agent that really is on top of the market and studying and staying up and up on what's going on in the economy, and who can really advise you. You might be able to get a really good deal right now where you have a lot more buyers sitting on the sideline. And once things stabilize out down the road, that will happen. And when it does happen, you might have more buyers, which means more competition. So that might also drive prices up. So there's no perfect time to buy a house. You just have to be smart, and you really have to understand what's going on. Make sure you have a good loan officer, make sure you have your numbers, make sure you have a good agent who can explain all these things to you and negotiate the best deal that you can. In any market, you can make a deal. So what I would say is, if you're in the market to buy a house, now is a good time to buy. Just know your stuff. The biggest impact of the tariffs is that we don't know exactly where they're gonna be. They're still negotiating what they're gonna be with each country. There's exemptions from time to time. And the uncertainty is really driving up the hesitation for buyers to buy, the hesitation for builders to build, and just kind of like a stagnation that's happening. Now, that's gonna change. Eventually, we're gonna figure out what those parameters are gonna be, but I also think that there's always opportunity in the chaos. So I think if you could find that opportunity, you'll really do really well. So give us a call today. Happy to do an analysis for you in your particular area that you're looking to buy or sell. We are always here to help.